Divorce is rarely easy, and it can be especially difficult for children who are unprepared to deal with the pain, guilt, and uncertainty. To learn how faith communities can best support families experiencing divorce, we welcome Reverend Carmen Frederick, Associate Pastor to Teens at Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago. We also welcome Reverend Frederick's son, Aiden, who is here to share his own story of being part of a divorced family. Would you guys be able to share with me a bit about your story, personally experiencing divorce?
I guess it's been about 5 years ago. Aiden's dad and I had a really tough decision to make. It involved us as adults and it didn't involve Aiden, but we made the tough decision to divorce. As a part of that decision, we had both actually also participated, had gone to seminary, the two of us together. The church asked that we begin a divorce program. I began facilitating that program at our church. We used a program that's sponsored by a group called Church Initiative called Divorce Care. We started there and we began doing that just for the adults. What we realized shortly thereafter is that the children were really suffering too, the children of the church in particular, and I didn't want my son to suffer, so we began another program called Divorce Care for Kids. That program is a more fun and engaging program in which the children are addressing issues from being angry at their parents to being sad that their parents are no longer together to what the financial differences might be because mom and dad are separated and divorced. And we began addressing those needs through the program called Divorce Care. And Aiden was one of our first participants. He participated for about 2 years. His dad agreed that that was a perfectly appropriate program for him to participate in. And it's been a wonderful program so far.
Can you explain to me a little bit about how you might have seen it in children, seen the kind of suffering or the experiencing it in their own way, and how it helped form the decision for you guys to make about the kids as well?
Okay. Well, one of the things we did too, just as a personal, aside from what we were doing through the church, is we decided to participate in what's called a mediated divorce first, which is the intent behind a mediated divorce is that the children are placed first. So whenever we meet with the mediator, the concern is what do we do that can put the children's needs first? So that's how we personally began our divorce progress outside of the church. We wanted to bring that information as well to the church, and so by starting the Divorce Care program, we were able to also talk to families who are going through divorce about how they can put their children first. And we had many parents that, again, used the program at the church so that they could learn to put their children first.
Hey, Aiden, are you in the program with a bunch of other kids?
During the program, yes, there were a bunch of other kids. And it was good being with them because it was kind of a good experience being with other children who have been their parents have been divorced.
Can you explain to me a little bit about why you think it's important to have this program in the church?
Yes, we don't want those who are experiencing divorce to feel like they are no longer unwanted because of a relationship did not work out. We want those who are members of our congregation to know that they're still a part of the community. We want them to also know that the church can play a vital role in their healing after their relationship ends and to help them, to support them as they go through their own healing process.
And how can it play a role in the healing process? Like, what are the specifics that you guys go through?
Well, when you are going through divorce, and children as well, your whole world is turned upside down. What you have known to be true, what you have known to be something you can rely on is no longer that way anymore. So the church provides a stabilizing force and helps you to deal with the anger that you might be feeling, the depression that you might feel, the uncertainties that you're facing. So the church is there to help support you through those challenges that you'll go through.
Aiden, can you explain to me maybe a few specific things that helped you?
Every class we would have a certain video, and the video would be talking about kids who have gone through this process, and they were dealing with problems, and they were like, okay, this is happening, I don't want it to happen. And they were finding a way to solve it, the problem. And it was helping us by running us through certain problems that we could be going through with our parents being divorced.
Can you explain how you get people involved and how it becomes a dialogue with the church?
Yes. Well, we have a very large kind of marketing department. So we are, in our weekly bulletin, we announce when the program is going to run, or when there are several different programs that we do, when those programs are going to run. They now know that I'm the minister or the person that is not in charge, not me, but the church has programs available for them. So all they have to do is call the church by referral source, and they can get information from me or whoever else is participating in the programs. We have multiple programs, again, as I mentioned. So.
Okay, can you explain a little bit about the multiple programs?
Okay. Well, again, I mentioned the class already, and those are programs, curriculum that were purchased. One is called Divorce Care, the other one is called Divorce Care for Kids. Since we've been doing it now for 5 years, we have additional programs. Our singles ministry of the church will offer panel discussions for adults and youth to talk about, their experiences of divorce, so people will share their experiences, and the entire congregation is invited to participate in that discussion. So we've had panel discussions. During our family month, which is in June, which can be a difficult time, because if you think about family, divorce is not something you think about as family, but our church has done a good job of making sure that you still feel like you are family. So during our family month in June, we have a program that we'll do for those who are married. We have a program that we'll do for those who are single. And we also have a program that we do, which we called a healing service. And that service is for people who are divorced or separated, and both sides of the divorce are invited. So the ex-husband, ex-wife, or the female and the male are invited to participate in that healing service. And that healing service is to let them know that your church family is still here for you. You're no longer separated. So that's one program that we do. We also do a program called Surviving the Holidays, and that we just did actually a couple of weeks ago. And that program is intended to help people who are, again, recently separated or divorced to survive the holidays. We also offer tips, again, for the children about how they can help to support the children through the divorce. So, for example, you may, during the holiday season, realize that your financial situation is different now that you are divorced. So the program will offer strategies such as, really let your child know, hey, we don't have as much money as we had in the past, so here's something we're going to do. And for example, Ada and I decided that we're going to share experiences one Christmas instead of giving physical gifts that cost a bunch of money. We're going to share some experiences like drinking hot chocolate together, or that don't cost a lot of money. And so when you're divorced, sometimes your finances change. And so we talk to the families about how they can do it differently and explain those things to the children as well.
Aiden, can you share with me a little bit about the experiences that you've shared with your parents for the holidays?
What I'm thinking about doing is, so with my dad, every Sunday he used to go with his dad and watch 60 Minutes. And I thought, to bring back his childhood, do that for him. And having me as the son and him as the father. Flipping it around, because it used to be his dad, and he's kind of going through something because his parents committed suicide. So I thought to bring back his childhood and do that 3 Sundays.
That sounds very nice. That's a nice idea. Thank you, Carmen and Aiden, for sharing your story with us, and have a wonderful holiday. I'm Ashley Clark for Different Drummers in the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.